and welcome to our 2020-2021 Beverly Hills High School ASB Candidates Forum hosted by KBEV Channel 6. I'm Eva Danesh. We are now joined by our unopposed head row candidates. We have Nahal Sarafian for head row president, Yoni Kashanian for student board member, Kevin Manavi for secretary, and Aiden Dayani for treasurer. Although these candidates are unopposed, they are still here to share their platform with our students. Our questions tonight were formed by KBEV and members from our student body and have not been shared with any of our candidates. So I'd like to start off by giving you guys each a little bit of time to speak about your general platform and some of your goals for our school. We'll start with Yoni, then go to Nahal, then Kevin, then Aiden.
Hi, my name is Yoni Kashanian, and I'm running for student board member. I have been part of BHHS for over 7 years now, and it's been an amazing journey growing up with the people around me. I really believe that I will be a big catalyst for change because of my experience helping out students in need. Voting for me will benefit you and this school in many ways. I will try my best to accomplish your needs, and your voice will be my priority. One request that I have is that every single student at BHHS should know that if they come across a problem that they want solved, they should come to me at any moment and ask for help. Please never hesitate because I am extremely friendly and easy to talk to. I would love to give anyone my contact information so they can contact me and we could chat and talk about how they feel about our school and our community as a whole. Remember, vote for Yoni Kashanian for student board member.
Thank you, Yoni. Now Nahal.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nahal Sarafian, and I'm running for head row president. Just to give you a little background, I've been in ASB since first semester of my freshman year, and I have learned what works and what doesn't in the class. I have gained many leadership skills and have learned how to balance leadership and friendship. During this quarantine, I made a successful effort to bring the school together through Quarantine with Beverly, a series on the ASB Instagram account. I have been planning to run for head row president since freshman year, and I have developed a list of plans for this coming year. I will start by preparing for next year, beginning in the summer. This would involve developing a close relationship with all the Beverly staff from the start. I also plan to recognize all Beverly birthdays for those who opt in. I have many more plans for this coming year, and I am so excited to share them with my fellow Normans.
Thank you, Nahal. Now, Kevin, please take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Manavi, and I'm running for head row secretary. For my past year in ASB as a graphic design commissioner, I've learned that we as student council need to be doing more for you guys. As far as we've come, there are still issues that affect our school to this day, like a lack of school spirit and a weak emphasis on the opinions of our students. If elected, I will listen to what you guys have to say, whether that's agreeing to talk in person or sending out more Google Forms and Instagram surveys to get your opinions. I'm qualified for this position because I have 2 semesters of prior experience with Beverly's associate student body. I've also had experience with clubs such as robotics, DECA, and a handful of smaller ones, meaning I know what those of you that lead clubs want and need in order to succeed. Thank you for listening, and remember to vote Kevin Manavi for your ASB head row secretary.
Thank you, Kevin. And now Aiden for your opening statement. Please unmute yourself. Sorry. Thank you.
Hi, sorry. I'm Aiden Dayani. I'm a sophomore, and I'm running for your ASB head row treasurer. As a freshman, I planned my course as ASB progressing over the years, and I started off as the sophomore treasurer, and then this year I'm going for head row treasurer, and I eventually want to plan on being the ASB head row president. So this year, I set goals for every year, but this year my main goals are to put the funds or to coordinate the funds better and not have money everywhere. Because in past years, a lot of complaints from students is, oh, Beverly wastes money on stuff. So this year, because I'm head row treasurer, I want to give students the ability to have a say in what our budget goes towards. And because I was the sophomore treasurer of the previous year, I think that I have the experience in the ASB treasurer position. And this year, I'm glad to be stepping up to the head row treasurer position.
Thank you guys all. So this first question will go to Nahal and Aiden. Nahal, you will start. So the question is, head row represents the school as a whole. Unlike the other positions that are specifically for a certain class, head row is meant to make sure that every student has their voice heard. So what steps will you personally take to better solicit input from students from every grade and from every experience level in high school?
Well, this year I am actually the head row vice president, so I have a year of experience of getting the input of the school as a whole and really being one of the pieces of glue that brings everyone together. But next year, as president, it will be my job to delegate responsibilities to all of ASB. And one way to do this is focus on the responsibilities of each individual ASB member, and reaching out to individual students out of ASB would be the responsibility of the grade representatives. So I would make sure that the grade representatives are doing their job by reaching out to their classmates, and that would go on to every other member doing their job as well. And I would also be the leader of the head row, who would also be responsible for certain tasks.
Thank you, Nahal. And now we can go to Aiden.
So I feel that during this whole quarantine experience, ASB's reputation or responsibilities has been very demolished by the student body, and I feel like in the next coming year, not just as a treasurer but as a head row member, I want to have the student body more understand better what it is that ASB, and I want to reach out to them more so they understand what we do versus what the administration does, and I want them to show that we're here to help them and to make their experience better.
Thank you, guys. And this next question is for Kevin and Yoni. Kevin, you will be starting. So for this question, construction has been a major part of the high school experience of so many of our students. Our seniors this year started their high school career with construction and with so much of our campus being closed. As part of head row, and especially for you, Yoni, as part of our board, how would you take measures to ensure that the construction and not having a lawn and not having certain parts of our fields will not hinder school spirit and will not hinder what we can do and how we can have fun?
So I think school spirit comes from the student body, not just the associate student body. So we would need to ask our student body more what they want us to do for school spirit, even if it means we wouldn't have the lawn, even if it means we wouldn't have any of the other areas that have been blocked off because of construction. But I think it's important that we ask our student body more than anything.
Thank you. And Yoni?
So pretty much, I believe that it doesn't matter what environment you're in. If there's a strong head, then the rest of the body is also going to be strong, pretty much. So if we are able to bring happiness and joy to the campus, all students will be happy. I think a main factor of that is just being able to speak to the students, get a view of what they want, and from there we will be able to do so much more for our school as a whole. You know, just because there's construction and we have to be in bungalows doesn't mean that we don't have to have a fun and fulfilling high school experience, you know. So I believe that once we could fully get the message from all the students as for what they want, we will be able to do so much more for the school as a whole and just bettering the community.
Thank you. This next question goes to Aiden and Nahal. Aiden, you will be starting. So we have a lot of clubs on campus that start out in the beginning of the year, super excited to get a lot of people to join, and so with so many ideas running through their minds. But it seems as though after their first meeting, these clubs never meet again. And it's unfortunate because so many of them have such great ideas and so many students really do want to join them and be a part of that organization. How would you take it upon yourself in ASB to ensure that clubs do last throughout the whole year and they do continue meeting and these smaller clubs can stay alive and can stay flourishing? So Aiden, if you can start.
I think that because to be a club leader, you do need 2 teacher signatures. And I do think that as ASB, we should notify teachers that if they are signing the approval of supervising a club, that they should have the response. They're technically responsible for anything that has to do with that club. So I feel that we need to explain to teachers that they, by signing, they technically are taking the responsibility for that club. And then also, when we're going through all the applications, we see a lot of clubs that have very similar constitutions. And I think that by combining the leadership in like multiple clubs of similar like themes, like if there's 2 Earth clubs, if we combine those 2, the leadership skills are also combined, and I feel like that can strive better.
Thank you, Aiden. And Nahal?
Well, as hetero president, again, going back to delegating responsibilities, it is the hetero vice president's responsibility to tend to the clubs and make sure they're running and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I think something that I would do differently than what we've been doing so far is making sure that the hetero vice president is checking in with the clubs monthly, maybe even attending one of the meetings of each club at some point within the first semester, so that we know that they're a club that is doing everything they need to do to the best of their ability and including all the students who want to be included. And again, just making sure that every ASB member is doing their job and following up on their responsibilities. So that would be of the hetero vice president.
And this question is for Yoni and Kevin. This will be our last question of this candidates forum. So how do you, on the topic of clubs, how do you guys see more communication and more transparency between ASB and all of our clubs on campus? How do you see us being able to implement that? Yoni, we could start with you and then go to Kevin.
Okay, so for just communication between clubs and ASB, I think a big part of it is just continuous communication. I feel like we communicate with clubs like twice a year, and I don't think that's very effective. Most of them don't see these emails, and it doesn't faze them whatsoever. So I think mainly we should be communicating with clubs more often. I'd say like twice a month or maybe even once a week. Pretty much just talking to them face to face. I think that'll make a big difference, and asking them what they want and what we could do to help. Because with strong clubs, we could really make the facade of our school look much better, and it's much more inviting for students. And we could really add more people to all the clubs and just gain more understanding for all these different levels of teaching, pretty much.
Thank you. And Kevin?
So as Yoni said, our communication with these clubs relies a lot on continuous communication. Even if it's just every month or so, we ask these clubs, how are they doing? Are they having any problems? That's still a lot better than doing it twice a year, but in like a long email. I would also say that if clubs knew they could reach out to us, if they were confident, if they were confident they could reach out to us if they had any questions about, we need money for this event we want to hold, what should we do? That would help a lot of these clubs. And I think it's important because these student-run clubs some people, they really just hate Beverly. And the only thing that I guess keeps them going is being able to go to these clubs that they like. So I think it's really important.
Thank you. So thank you guys all for joining us and for sharing your ideas and your goals with our student body. And thank you for watching the Head Row Candidates Forum on KBEV Channel 6. Although these candidates are unopposed, the Head Row Vice President is still up for election, and you can watch that debate also on our channel. You can learn more about these candidates and all the candidates running for ASB 2020-2021 on their candidates description next to their voting ballots. Voting opens May 18th and closes May 20th, 2020. Thank you again so much for watching. For KBEV 6, I'm Eva Danesh.